My name is Jiaoying Summers. Don't worry about pronouncing Jiaoying. My iPhone auto-correct Jiaoying to annoying. People also ask me, why don't you have a Chinese last name? I had one before I got married. I was a hoe. Hi guys, I'm Jiaoying Summers. Welcome to Tiger MILF podcast. I have an amazing guest today. I look up to her and I was able to perform with her the first time for Women in Comedy for the Netflix joke show. And she's just beautiful, powerful, successful in every way, in comedy, TV, and film. She's a boss lady. She is just the inspiration. Guys, are you ready for the very beautiful Zainab Johnson?
Hey.
So happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here. You said you look up to me. It's just because I'm much taller than her.
I think so. That's one of one thing I look up to you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like tall girls. They trigger me because my ex was very abusive about my height.
Oh, really?
He's verbally beginning. He's like, so cute, so short, so cute. But then we got married. He just trying to kind of make my shortcoming bigger. Yeah. I mean, I'm not as, it doesn't matter how short you are, you should be happy about it. I was happy that he kept telling me how short my leg is and talk about the tall girls, the Victoria's Secret model girls. And you're like, oh my God, fuck those giraffes. I just start getting really bitter. But now I'm happy. I'm healthier now because I don't have the bad influence anymore. I'm just like, the tall girls. Oh, those legs.
I mean, the grass is never greener. Just know that. Whether you're short, tall, thin, thick, the grass is, you gotta make do with what you got.
I think so. I learned that. I feel like I was so unhappy when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
I was much skinnier, literally. But I just hate my body, hate my face, hate everything about me. Now I'm older. I just love what I am right now.
Yeah,
I just love it. And I'm so happy I'm older now.
Yeah. I think this world, like globally, is pretty harsh to women.
So hard. Everywhere is hard for us.
Yeah. And so it's really hard to maintain a positive self-image. Even the people who we may think look perfect, I'm sure they are, in the privacy of their own selves, hating themselves. And it's just a constant conversation. But
you're talking about yourself.
No, well, I mean, sometimes, I'm very hard on myself. Thank you. As soon as I came in here, I'm like, I should have put on some makeup. But it's like, it's totally fine.
You have the best bone structure.
Thank
you look amazing.
Thank you. But I think it's all to sell product. Because if every woman was happy with herself, they would never sell they wouldn't sell workout classes. They wouldn't sell anything. They wouldn't sell skin products. They wouldn't we would be in a constant recession globally if women didn't feel bad about themselves.
I know. So we feel bad. It make all motherfuckers rich.
Yes.
Fuck
exactly.
Them. Oh my God.
That's why we buy designer bags. That's why we buy everything is rooted in even men's confidence is rooted in women feeling awful about themselves.
I know. I don't know why the ugly men, they feel so good about themselves. Like we look in the mirror, we're like perfect. We're like, oh, and then you see this like a crazy awful guy laying on their couch eating potato chips, judging Miss World. Like, she's fat, she's short, she ugly. And then they look like garbage.
Yeah, I'm always surprised, like, when I'm walking down the street and, like, an unhoused guy is like, hey, can we hang out? And I'm like, so you don't even have the bare necessities for yourself, but you still have the confidence to,
Maybe
talk
has
to
a
a
big
woman?
Dick.
Even still, I'm sure the dick isn't clean.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think it's clean.
No.
I think it's dirty.
Yeah.
Dirty dicks. It's not good.
I used to live right here in Hollywood, and when the when the pandemic first started, there was how those like encampments, they just grew like overnight. Mm-hmm. And there was this one like unhoused guy, his encampment kept getting larger and larger. And I would always like run past him in the morning, like on my jogs. And he would be like, one morning he was like, after I hadn't run for a little while, he was like, hey, I noticed that you didn't run the past few mornings. And I was like, oh, are you watching me? And he was like, I mean, I'm watching everything. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, you want to walk with me to CVS? And I was like, absolutely not.
I'm watching everything.
What?
Who are you, Morgan Freeman? Are you God? Like, are we watching everything?
What? But I mean, that's the like goal of a man, you
Oh
know?
my God. I love your comedy because it's so real and the way you talk about it is so real. It's so funny. I remember last time at Soho House, you talked about if we play dumb, men totally just believe that they are just that much smarter than us.
They love it.
And we actually just, it's funny. We just play dumb and get what we want and then try to tell them the truth because their ego won't let them see the truth that we are smarter and powerful.
Yeah, you know how you do certain jokes that may talk about like men and guys in the room get mad? When I tell that joke, they love it. They freaking love it. And it's like they're just telling on themselves. The more they enjoy the joke, the more they're telling on themselves.
Yeah, because it's so true.
Yeah.
I love that joke.
Thank you.
It's brilliant. Well, can you tell us about Ramadan? When is it and what do you do?
Oh, Ramadan is going on right now. It is Muslims fast during Ramadan.
Mhm.
We from dawn until sundown.
Mhm.
We abstain from most things, most physical needs of the body.
Mhm.
So water, any liquids, any food. You try to have like more pure thoughts, and it's like
It's good.
like and it's considered the holy month for Muslims because it was when the Prophet he fasted, and that's when he got the Quran. Like,
Oh wow!
yeah.
So that's give you the greatest inspiration, like pure your mind is.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I feel like even like in China, the monks, we always say you cannot be more than 30% full. Like when you eat, you can't feel full. If you feel full, you can't think.
Yeah.
Like you have to be like 70% full.
Yeah.
Then your mind can think.
Oh,
I think that's interesting. Talking about the monks, Dalai Lama.
That's quite gross.
I just feel like ask about a little boy to suck any of your body part is disgusting. It's people are trying to explain why it's okay.
Yeah, it is disgusting, but I don't think that we would have known about it or heard about it if Cardi B didn't react to it. That's the reason why it's huge news right now, because Cardi B is huge, and her reaction was like, WTF, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's like, well, we got to see why. And then she got some backlash, right, for reacting that way.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, wait, let's see what she's reacting to. And then we see that it's the Dalai Lama, an old
I want to tell you the
Asian
truth
man.
because you're my people. You're my sister. Like, China has been trying to cancel every single person who team up with the Dalai Lama. Who, like Sharon Stone, she was saying shit about the Tibetan earthquake. That was shitty shit for her to say like, oh, it's karma Tibetan earthquake. You can't like a Sichuan earthquake. There's a Sichuan earthquake. She's like, it's karma. She can't say that. You can't say it's karma. Mainly because she think they were not nice to Dalai Lama, so there's karma. But it was dumb shit she said. She got canceled by China. All her movies are gone. And then
in China,
Brad Pitt did a movie called 11 years in Tibet, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a movie, and he was trying to talk about his sympathy about the Dalai Lama situation, and he got canceled in China. And Lady Gaga's concert got canceled in China because she was talking about China wasn't nice to the Dalai Lama. And today, Dalai Lama got canceled by Americans.
Yeah.
And the Cardi B probably she's like, I should always be the most famous person with my tongue out, bitch. Like, you don't get to do this to me. I love that she said she didn't give a fuck. She just said, like, okay, look at this.
Yeah, I think most times what people really agree on is like when you violate a child, I think that is like, that crosses all genres, ethnic makeup, so socio, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Even like Jeffrey Epstein. I hate to go that far back, but like I think publicly, like obviously we know there's like monsters behind closed doors, but publicly, I think everybody gets on the same page when it's like, wait, you violating a kid?
Yes.
Even in jest, people are like, no.
Yeah, people are trying to tell me, well, maybe it's some Asian culture. They just do that as a sign of affection. I'm like, I was born in 1990. It's been 33 years. My father never hugged me once.
Oh, wow.
It is definitely not Asian culture. He literally, I think kissing on the lips can be like, okay, but like stick the tongue out, like, suck it. The little boy, he put his hand on his head. He didn't suck it because, even we are little kids, we know what's weird. Because when I was learning painting class, I was 7. My teacher wanted me to sit on his lap to paint. Because he said, you can sit on my lap because you are the best student. Your painting is the best. I've been sitting on his lap for 1 week. Then my mom's like, so I heard you are the best painter. What do you get? I said, I got to sit on his lap. She got so angry. She went to school and she took all the table and desk out. And she literally just called the landlord and locked him out. And she just lashed out. Tiger mom. She's mean to me, but
Your mom canceled him.
Yeah, my mom canceled him. My mom goes, no, nobody gave her any affection.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she knows that's wrong. She knows that's wrong, and she was very angry. We know what's wrong. Like, when is that wrong, we don't care how good of a painter you are. Like, I don't know. I think apologizing is not going to work with him. It's too visual. It's a Craigslist level disgusting. Yeah. It's beyond imagination.
Yeah, so I don't know much about the Dalai Lama, right? But I did think, and this may be a very ignorant assumption, but I did assume that monks don't be like in no type of action, like period, right?
Monks,
like they abstain
asexual
from everything, right?
They're like asexual.
Yeah.
No sex, like they are vegans too.
Yeah. So that's even more so why it's like weird, because it's like, well, I guess, so was priest at Catholic Church. Right? I guess not. I guess, I guess maybe we got to let these people get some so that they can stop abusing kids.
Yeah, I think so. I really just feel like it's just so graphic and visual. It's just, what happened if this little boy is a little stupid, like my son? He's actually going to lick it, Because that boy is like, he's Indian. He's probably like smart and a genius with something. And he's like, you are like, because he came up to ask for a hug. Yeah. Because he admired him.
Yeah.
And I see the video earlier on his face. I can see his face. He's a very beautiful boy. But now they blurred his face.
Oh, you saw the video before they blurred it? Okay.
Yeah, he's a very beautiful boy. But it doesn't matter. Like, all boys are kids. Boys and girls are beautiful. Like, before monsters trying to do things. People in power, they don't understand how insane, that's the words they are saying. When they have the kind of power, they would say crazy things. They think it's just like, oh, did you have breakfast? They didn't understand it. Suck my tongue is something you don't say.
Yeah. Like it's like wild. It's like wild, and it was caught on camera.
Yeah, and it's very clean. It's not like something you can't tell who's who.
Yeah, so that just makes me think, like, or makes me wonder rather, like, what's happening when the cameras aren't rolling?
I think is gross. Then people start digging out old things he used to say. They ask him, what if is a female Lama succeed you? What would you think? He said that as long as she's extremely attractive, I will allow a female Lama to succeed me. But that was like a while ago, the thing he say. Oh my God. It sounds weird. But he's just trying to be funny. He's like an unfunny comedian, want to be funny. Like that kind of like, I know the Dalai Lama is charming. He always try to be funny. He always do little tricks and stuff. Yeah. He was very cute. He always do cute things. That's why he's loved. He's like the like, I don't know, like the Pope right now, who is cool, the cool one. No, not like it. The Pope is great. Pope Francis is great, right? He's good.
I don't know anything about none of these people. To be very honest with you.
Yeah, it's shocking to see. Seeing the video is really just, I think China is laughing right now. They are so happy now.
So why is China? Why do they not like the Dalai Lama? Like before this, why are they so anti?
He's very outspoken about he's not happy about the government, the Chinese government. So and he's fled from China. Mm-hmm. So they just don't like him.
Okay, so the Dalai Lama was originally Chinese?
Tibetan. In Tibet.
Yeah. But now he still is in Tibet, right? No?
I don't think the government would allow him to come back to Tibet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't like what he's talking about, the government. So he's actually not allowed in China.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he can go. It's like Roman Polanski, you can't come back to America. Like, people still respect you and love you, but you're not allowed to come back.
Yeah.
So oh my God, it's just really crazy how loved he is by the left Hollywood people, the cool Hollywood Gen Fonda, Brad Pitt and Gaga, and now looking at him doing this, how much they defend him and love him, and he just sticking his tongue out, asking the boy to suck it. Not like lick it. I think they are both fucked up. I feel like lick this, or like lick holy water, like a cat. Okay, suck it. It's just the word suck it. It just sucks my soul out because I have kids, like I just look at, I'm just like, that's a man who is a prophet, who is somebody have the superpower we all love and respect. Suck my tongue.
Yeah.
The edge, and he's 87. 87
I was about to
years.
say, how old? Yeah, he's 87.
87 years.
Maybe he's senile.
What's a senile?
Maybe he's lost his faculties. Like maybe his brain is not functioning at the capacity.
I hope that would be like that would be easier for all the left Hollywood powerhouse to hear.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. I really don't know.
I just don't understand. Like 87 years, nobody know. I just didn't make any sense. If you been living for 87 years, there's something. He's such a public figure. There must be something people would talk about.
Well, 60 of those years, there were no camera phones and all of that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is disgusting. It would be disgusting if he asked a grown person to do it, but it's even more of a violation.
I think why
it's a child.
It's a child, and I also like people always would say a pedophile. The last thing they do is to be taking photo with a child and say that. Like a pedophile would avoid to be in the same frame with a child. Like a pedophile would be the person who you would never think he would be a pedophile. They would do whatever they can to conceal their tendencies.
Oh, is that what they say about pedophiles?
I feel like they try in public. They're like, they're like not gonna be like looking at a kid and pick up a kid and kiss a kid.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen so many Law and Order SVU episodes. Pedophiles, they work in a number of different ways. Some of them will be like the clown at the kid part. Like they'll be the friend of every kid, like the favorite teacher. And then some of them will
be. Our
be
teacher was a pedophile.
Yeah, like I think that they show up in just like human beings, like either way, it's always a wolf in sheep's clothing. Whether they are, flamboyant with it or whether they're like totally recluse with it, they're still.
It makes sense because the best way for them is to working with children and get children to like them and use their vulnerability and respect to abuse them. And they can't tell their parents, don't even know what's happening.
Yeah. Well,
to protect our children from guns and pedophiles.
Yeah.
And we should let women have abortions whenever the fuck they want.
Yes.
That's what we should do.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just, it really, really like, it's just too graphic. I wish to stop talking about it. It's so graphic.
Oh, it's whatever you want. I mean, it is graphic and it is.
And it's,
I think we're being faced with a lot of new realities these days, and I think the test or sign of each and every one of our characters individually and then our characters as society is how we deal with these new changes, and you spoke about like, this love that so many celebrities have had for the Dalai Lama and how outspoken they are. And it'll be very interesting and it'll be a true sign of their character to hear like what their response is to this public faux pas, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really all. I mean, like, I'm not gonna fly to Tibet and do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. But also, if I had a baby right now and he was like, "Oh, we going to Tibet on a class trip," I would be like, "Don't go near the Dalai Lama.
No, don't go near him.
Don't make sure you."
Yeah, he wear a rope. Like he literally wear a rope. If he stand up, it's gonna drop. He's gonna be naked. Like he's dressed for it.
I would be like, does the Dalai Lama like black kids? Because sometimes.
Well, the Indian boy is pretty dark.
It was Indian. It was an Indian boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's so sad.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about your journey in comedy.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask you about like what inspired you to do comedy and what's your rules of comedy as a woman of color who is so successful. Like I wouldn't know how to describe how hard it is to our listeners for to make it as a woman of color. There's no way in every way for a woman of color to do anything is hard, but in comedy is just very difficult because there's just not enough stage time for women, not women of color or transgender or Asian, Filipina, right? Or Filipina is Asian, Indian, Latino. It just well, there's a spot is just for one woman or a gay.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
So that's just so hard for us. I would love to know your story.
So the way I started comedy, I never knew that I would do comedy. Like I used to go to comedy clubs a lot when I was like in college. And I even remember being a kid and my mom sneaking me into a comedy club. I don't know why though, because I have older siblings that she could have snuck in, but she chose me. And
Because you are taller, she can lie to them you are 18.
maybe, but I mean, I was very young, like
Convenient.
maybe around 9 years old, like 9.
So you're probably in my height when you are 9. You're probably like a 5'1", 5'2".
Probably, yeah, probably. But how did I start to do comedy? I don't know. I was working around comedians a lot, and I was working for a guy who specifically produced a comedy show at the Comedy Store, and working for him allowed me to like kind of learn what it is to produce a comedy show. And then one day I just thought I could do it. Like I quit that job and I went to an open mic and I got on stage and it wasn't terrible. It was actually pretty good. Like surprisingly, it was really good. And I knew it was really good because I wasn't at a comedy club. I was at a hookah lounge. And so, you know, when you do, I don't know if you know this, but when you do open mics at places that are not like they're not expecting you to perform. Like people are there like for happy hour and then somebody just gets on stage with like this material that's not tried. People kind of look like, why are you ruining our time, right? And so I watched that happen, and then I got on stage and like everybody like was paused their smoking and was like listening to me and laughing. And so much so that I stopped in the middle of like my set. And I was like, oh my God, you guys are laughing. And they were like, yeah, keep going. And then I was like,
Oh my
no,
God, I have
I'll
tears.
stop. I was like, I'll stop while I'm ahead. And then I just got off stage and I remember my friend who met me there. I was like, I think I'm good at this. And she was like, duh, I told you, you are so funny. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah. So then after that, I just went to another open mic the next day. And then the next day I would find myself going to like 3-4 open mics a night. And now I'm here.
Zainab, I want to tell you what I think is that I believe that comedy, a sense of humor, your like talent as like a stand-up comedian is like somebody who's musical is a talent. You know when to talk, when to pause, and what to say. It's just a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can get funnier. Like you practice singing, you can get better. But if you are Celine Dion, you are Celine Dion. You're just better. I really believe there's talents, just like in music talent for comedy, for humor. People just know when to say something. It's music. We're wired that way. When to say what, when to shut up, and what to say. And that's what I felt, and that's what Joan Rivers said that she believed in that, because a lot of people are like, oh, everybody can do what we do. It's not magic, you know. It's not like a singing. Everybody can do stand up, but when they try it, they can't do it because it's not just public speaking. It is a talent.
Yeah, I definitely know everybody can do it, but I also know that a lot of people believe that they can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like testament to like a good comedian, because
Yeah.
a good comedian makes it look effortless. A good
Yeah.
comedian makes it look easy, and it's quite difficult. But I think that I realized that it was my thing when at the most difficult moments I only wanted to do it more. You know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in life where when it gets difficult, you're like, I ain't got to do this. But with comedy, it's like, with stand-up specifically, it's like, oh, that was bad. Oh, I got to redeem myself. I got to be better. I have to, you know, like, or when things are great, you're like, that was okay. I can do better. You know?
That's why you are great, is because you truly love this. And when you love something, you are good at it when you're on stage. like the audience are at ease. It's like looking somebody playing piano who's a master rather than looking somebody who's trying to memorize things and trying to please people. You're just doing what you love, what you're good at, and that's all your hard work, right? You just like that's my thing. You start doing so many mics, and then you get shows, and you get. It's just the people always want to ask me like, how do I get on those shows? I'm like, your goal is not get on shows. Your goal is to get so good that people want to get you on shows. That's what you want. You don't. Comedy is not like just like you know the director, you know how to suck his dick, you got the role. You can suck the dick all you want, but you on stage, no dick can save you, bitch. Like you're gonna bomb in 15 seconds. There's no dick gonna fly in and like help you. You are gonna be you won't be okay. Comedy, nobody can help you. You're funny, you're funny. You are not funny, you're not funny.
Yeah.
You can get funny in private.
Yeah. When it doesn't matter what you've done before that moment, however the time that you're on that stage, that's all that matters.
Yes.
And it's really fun for me.
It's fun because the comedy saved my life because the comedy is therapy. We literally channel our darkest secret. We work very hard to make it funny. We want people to relate to us. We want to have a connection with them through something is authentic because the way you are very, very funny is because your humor is authentic and powerful because it's real. Mm-hmm. I feel like you always speak your truth. And you lead the audience to provoke them to think, rather than be like, "Oh, look at me, look how hot I am," like blah blah blah. You don't talk about this. You talk about something that's more like, there's girls when like they just say things that people want to hear, and they have a career. But then some women they talk about what they want to say, and you make what you want to say funny. That's fucking gift, right? Like, because we can talk about what they want to hear funny. And go with the flow. Yeah. But that's not leading. Like a comedy, I feel like the real comedians like Lenny Bruce, like Richard Pryor, they are the society's philosopher. You philosophize. You lead them. You point out what's fucked up. Yeah. Like, look at this shit. But in a way, that's not a TED Talk. In a way, you make it funny. Yeah. That's why it's so hard right now, there's so many cancel cultures about comedians' speech and voice. Our job is not to make you feel good about yourself, be happy, like you believe in this politics. It's not that. It's just provoke you to think.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Mm-hmm. I think that like there's a lot of we could get on a soapbox or get in a pulpit and provoke. You can say anything provocative, right? You can do that in many different ways. But I think it's important for the comedian to always remember that you're making people laugh.
Yeah, that's your job.
That's your job.
When you are when you are Richard Pryor, you can provoke and be it.
But no one ever said Richard Pryor wasn't funny.
He's always funny.
Exactly. So that's why it's okay.
Funny is a boundary.
If Richard Pryor was being provocative and not making people laugh, then maybe he would have been Malcolm X. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he's Richard Pryor because he knew how to do it in a funny way.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That's the key.
And sometimes it's hard to find that. Sometimes you don't find it on the first go, and sometimes you do make mistakes finding it.
Hard. It's very hard.
It's very difficult.
And I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to work for it, and it's exciting and it's hard.
People mess up in speech. People mess up talking to people. People have awkward moments. Put their foot in their mouth. Put their feet in their mouth all the time, and they're not trying to be funny. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You do that at work. So imagine doing that, and you're trying to evoke laughter out of strangers.
Yeah, and being witty.
Yeah.
And funny and fast. Also, always trying to make sure you are the butt of the laughter. Trying to make sure like you're not punching down as much. Like you can't punch down. Yeah. It's hard. I mean, you can't do it. It's not funny.
Well, and people definitely don't want to be punched down by a woman.
Yeah. And I was,
unless they're like into like dominatrix stuff, then they really want to be punched down by a woman.
Yeah. Well, I think I really believe I really believe women do have more power and we have more talent and we can give birth to a child. Yeah. Yeah, we can just literally just like put a guy in the cage in the basement and get the sperms and just repopulate the world. We don't really need them to tell us what the fuck we should wear, how ugly we look, and we are too fat or too skinny. But we don't do that because we have compassion. We don't have the ego. I love men. I do. I have a son. He's very cute. He's sweet, and I want him to be raised by a strong woman. I'm a single mom, and I don't feel like he's going to miss out at becoming weird because he didn't have a dad in his life.
Yeah.
I think as long as I'm strong, and he will respect women.
Yeah. I think that that's the goal of a lot of mothers that are decent human beings. They're like, I just want to make sure that my son is good to women.
Yeah.
And I think that is just probably proof that as a woman, even if you've had a pretty subtle or easy life, you still recognize how difficult it is, or how oppressive rather it is to be a woman. And I do feel like stand-up is just a subset of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything that exists in the world, sexism, racism, even socioeconomic disparity, judgment, all of those things, then they're going to exist in comedy as well.
It exists in comedy.
Yeah.
And the comedy, I think comedy is still very much male dominated.
Oh,
it
yes,
is.
yes. Comedy
Comedy is
definitely
sexist. It is very
Yeah,
sexist.
yeah.
And I was
It's very male and very white male.
very white man.
This is their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like we are very lucky to have our voice and to stand by our truth. It's hard. I think every day is a battle. Every day is a battle to try to move forward.
Yeah.
It is. And you've done more than just stand up. Your stand up is amazing, and you have such a great TV and movie career. It's every,
TV.
It's very,
I mean, I am working in TV, but what's like the biggest compliment people pay? I love doing stand up. Like I love it so much because I do get to like really just tell my story like unapologetically. And so the biggest compliment that I'm paid is when someone identifies my story as their story. Because then unknowingly, like I give voice to like so many people. And sometimes those people look exactly like me and come from the same place as me, but sometimes they're very different, even different genders. And like
yes, it's amazing.
Yeah, and that really does feel good, and it feels good to laugh. Like my best shows are when the audience is laughing and I'm laughing too. I could like, and by kill I mean like I could destroy a show, like do extremely well and be like deadpan and not have fun, and the audience I could not have fun at all and the audience can still have fun because like the words that I'm writing, what I'm putting together, the thoughts are still funny. I know how to set up a punchline. I know how to do that. But when they're having fun and I'm having fun, those are the best shows. Those are the absolute best shows.
Yes, I love those ones. I think the one I did in Irvine Improv was just I start laughing and my makeup start melting because they laugh. I start laughing and we just keep going, keep laughing. It's a beautiful moment. It's so beautiful.
And sometimes they kind of get on board, like when you're having fun. Like I feel like your show at Soho House. It's like that was like one of the first days of Ramadan, right?
Yeah,
I think because I had said like, and so I was just like. I might have just
Are you hungry?
broken my fast. Oh, I'm starving right now, but that's okay. But I might have just broken my fast a few minutes before I got on stage. So I was like, and they had to get on board with me, like they had to adjust to like my energy,
Yeah.
And then I think that they had fun. Like they had a good time with it.
They had so much fun.
Yeah.
They loved you. It was so high. The energy was so high. People were so happy.
I was high on sugar.
That's good. That's good. I don't like sweet. I like spicy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a sweet
But
person.
now I'm trying to, I think after I have kids, I try to understand why chocolate is so good. I didn't understand how delicious they are. I just decided to not like sweet things, I guess, because my mom likes sweet and I just want to be different from her. It's just weird, weird
shit.
shit.
It's probably good that you don't like sweet things because, sugar is pretty bad for you.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's pretty bad for you, so it's helpful. An overconsumption of salt isn't great as well, but I love spicy.
Spicy is good.
I love spicy.
I would eat it like a jalapeno pepper right now.
Oof. I can't just pop a jalapeno pepper.
But I can't touch my eye after though.
Yeah, because it'll burn your eye.
It's already tiny. I can't afford it. This would be like, she can't see now. She can't see now. Yeah, I have a thought in my mind. I forgot. It's the mom brain. It's so what do you think about dating as a female comedian, as a successful female comedian?
Dating as a female comedian? I don't know. To be very honest with you, I don't really think about it like that.
You just, I think the right person is going to like whatever you do.
Yeah, like I do recognize that it is a difficult for if you are traditional, you know, and you want to live a traditional life, then it may be a bit hard for you to come around to your partner being out all hours of the night. This is like a job that is not for the weak-hearted, you know. Sometimes I am, you know, I'm in the house all day. Sometimes I'm leaving the house like at 9 o'clock and not coming back until 2, 3 in the morning. And like you said, comedy is very male dominated. So I am around a lot of men. And I do understand, I can empathize with that not being ideal, you know, for a man. But it would be really stifling for me to sort of let that guide me, you know? Like, I don't date comedians.
Me either.
And I don't want to say it like that, like, oh, I won't date you if you're a comedian, but I'm not finding myself, while I do respect and have a great affinity, admiration, respect, I actually have a really good time with some of my male colleagues, you know?
I think also those guys make us more cynical around the regular guys because they are always so funny. When you go on with a guy who try to be funny with you, you're like,
not
I feel that way. I'm
me.
like, don't tell me a joke, just don't do it.
I mean, it's like this for me. It's like, don't tell me a joke if the joke ain't funny. I don't care if we dating. I don't care if we're not dating. I don't care what your profession is. Like, and don't tell me a joke because you think that that's what I want to hear because I'm a comedian.
Yeah, they always try to tell us jokes.
I just want you to be yourself.
Yeah.
What?
You can be unfunny. Just don't try.
Yeah.
To tell a joke all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm a comedian.
But I do not compare. I'll call them civilians.
Civilians.
I don't compare civilian men with comedian men because I don't know. Comedians are cool, but comedians are gross. Guys are gross, period. And the male comedian, oh my God, they're disgusting. They're funny, but they're disgusting.
They're funny. They are funny and gross.
They are disgusting, really.
Yeah,
and so I wouldn't even put that on. You know.
I guess like in Chinese we call it the laughing point. My laughing point got so high because we just being around those funny male comedians. They tell us when like something happened, like the San Francisco and SVB, you know, the Silicon Valley Bank crashed. Like I already hear all the jokes my male comedian friend already tell me, and then like the guy I'm seeing wants to say some joke about it. I just look at him with disgust, but I try to stop it. I'm like, no, don't do it. But then I'm like, honey, don't. You know, just he's like, I have a joke about it. I'm like, let's not talk about it. Let's talk about something else.
But you know,
and then they sound like like they think it's a joke. I'm just like, I don't talk, but I'm just like, oh my God, how do I live now?
Well, here's what I realized: so many people don't know how funny they are. And they're really funny without trying, you know? And so most times, very honestly, while I get consistent laughter in the comedic space from comedians, some of my biggest laughs have come from civilians just because they don't even know
they're being funny.
That they're being funny. And that's guys that I've dated included, you know? Sometimes they make me laugh really hard and it's not by way of a joke.
It's
Sometimes
situation.
it's situational, it's behavioral.
That's cute.
You know? Yeah.
What is not cute is like because we are comedians, whenever we do something, they try to make a joke about it. I have a guy who try to do a joke about everything, like all day. He has like 20 jokes. I'm just like want to vomit because they just think that will be how to get you to like them. But that's not. I just like you as an unfunny person. And it's fine.
Yeah, but do you say that to them? Do you
I
say
don't,
like
I don't use unfunny.
Because that's just going to make them try harder.
I just not as funny as, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. Men always want to be funny because being funny is a sign of intelligence and domination. Because we walk in a room with like cracking jokes, everybody's like looking at us, and the guys like, but then they were like, what? They keep looking at us, you know.
Yeah.
We can't help. We do what we do, and there's men, they want to see you shine, and they are not threatened by your charisma and you being funny all the time.
Yeah, I think that being a funny woman, it disarms that thing that funny men have. Like I think a lot of women see funny men and they don't care. It's like they could not have found them attractive. They could not think that they're viable candidates, dating candidates for them. But then they've made them laugh, and so that pushes them over the top. But I think knowing my ability to be funny, I am like I have like that's not my kryptonite.
I love that. Remember, there's a TV. Like in the TV show Friends, Joey's sister, she got pregnant in college by a guy. Joey's like, "Why? You are the only good one. You go to college. Why? Why?" She's like, "But he's funny." He's like, "Just laugh. Don't fuck him." You know. Same here. Like when they can be like when a guy's funny, he just got cuter by other women. But for us, we are already funny, so they don't get cute. I'm like, "You are still." Sure.
Yeah, like they if they're funny, for me, if a guy is funny, then it doesn't make him look better or sexier.
Yeah.
It makes him more respectable. So I respect his humor.
Yeah.
But
I can separate it. I can separate
differentiate.
I can separate the humor from the dick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, I respect his humor, and that's it. I'm not interested, and I would not even recommend him to a friend.
Yeah. We are not biased.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we just see it. That's you are good with your punchline. We like the setup.
Yeah.
That's double punchline. Good.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
Am I gonna kiss you? Hell no. We are not having coffee. No.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny. So how about like have you ever dated somebody? I've been experiencing a lot of like narcissists who are trying to use me in not just in romantic situation. Like sometimes they are a friend. They get closer to you. They are an outsider. They just so charming and nice. You want to help them, and then you realize that they just coming in to get you, to take from you, and
like an opportunist.
Yeah, when you stop giving them things they don't deserve, they turn on you and then they leave. They don't really cost you. They just cost your heart because they don't really work hard and they really don't have any position try to sabotage you. But like they would cost you, like, why would I trust that person and waste my time trying to help them? And now I feel like it's very healthy for me to gone through that. Now I look at people, I understand what they want, and it helped me with my boundaries, because I have a problem with my boundaries as an Asian woman growing up in China. I was born a girl from the 90s. There's a one-child policy. I wasn't wanted, so my mother kept me, but she made sure I know that because she had to give up so much to keep me, and I need to make sure like I do the best I can at school and behave and just listen and do not talk back, because my life was granted to me. And it just kind of my boundary has been compromised with my parents when I started understanding men and dating. In Chinese culture is like you always respect the man. The man runs the house, and like the old culture. And then I just try to. And also, like in Asian culture, you just always say yes. You don't say no, even though you don't want something. Like you go to Japan, the Japanese businessman, you do deal with them like hi, like yes, then yes, do we have a deal? Yeah, hi, and then they never call you back because it's saying no. It's like ugh. We just can't confront. Like it's a major problem for me to confront things. I gradually I'm start learning because. My boundary problem is costing people to use me more and use my generosity as me being stupid and try to take until they can't take anymore. And then I flip. I'm like, hell fucking no. But then they're like, why you were dumb the whole time? And now you all of a sudden you have a backbone. Like they don't get it. It's like in Chinese culture, it's like I'm gonna write down all the things they cross me, and when I add up to this point, is a hard no. Yeah. So I'm like, that's done because this they're like the whole time I've been fucking you, like fucking with you, like you didn't say anything. But in American culture, like no, you don't use my contacts without telling me. That's not okay. We can still be friends, but like that should not have ever happen again. I'll be like, that contact they used me. Oh, that's shitty. Okay, and then they do something like more. I'm like, oh wow, I should rethink about this shit. And then something else, I'm like, you are fucking my husband. No, I don't think so. So it's just like I'm learning. The first thing is like it's healthy to have boundaries.
Yeah.
You can keep more people in line than just like you compromise your boundary, try to be nice to people.
Yeah.
You're not being nice to anybody. I'm just learning. It's a learning thing for me. I think you probably have very strong boundaries, and I need to know how did you develop it, and like as a girl, just as a girl. I have a girl. I want to raise a girl who really know how to protect her boundaries.
Yeah. Well, clearly, like our upbringings are very different. I was raised in a house where I'm a middle kid. I have 12 other siblings. I have 7 brothers and 5 sisters. And also, like religiously, it is everything is the man leads everything. And so my father was very strict, but my mom was very confident. And I think both my parents instilled a certain level of confidence in me. And I think that just, a lot of times, like you see kids, things happening or kids dealing with things in their social groups at schools or extracurricular. But when they get home, that's usually like their safe space, right? But not for me. Like my house, my home was a jungle, just like it was like the jungle I knew versus the outside jungle, you know? And so I think that I probably created boundaries as a kid, just being like a middle kid. But I think also too, just as I matured, I recognized that boundary is not keeping someone else in line. Boundaries are taking care of yourself. It is truly an act of self-love.
Yes.
To take care of yourself is that is a sign of respect, ultimate respect for yourself. And I think that when you let people violate you or abuse you, especially under the guise of you're just trying to be a good person, it's like, well, I know you're not a good person because you're not being good to the first person that matters, which is you.
That's fucking brilliant. So brilliant.
But you can say it appears like you're being a good person because you're giving out to everybody else.
Yeah.
But no, you're not. You're not, because you're abusing yourself.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's like, this is a little bit controversial, but I always say that I don't really see myself dating, certain types of people. I'm not gonna say I won't date a short guy because you can't control your height, right? But like, if you're like a guy that has unhealthy habits, I'm not gonna date you because I know you don't care about yourself.
Yeah.
And because I don't believe you care about yourself, how can I expect you to care about me?
Yeah, that's so true. It's like if a guy wants to date you when he's married, I'm just like, you're gonna do that to me too, right?
Yeah.
And also like, why I can't count my happiness on the possibility of a man leaving his wife. That's your happiness. That is fucked up at the first get-go. Like, that's not gonna go anywhere. If it went anywhere, it's going to a train wreck.
Yeah, I think that probably on my list of things I need in a partner, it's someone with integrity. And I think like someone who is strongly lacking integrity is someone with the goal to be like, yeah, I'm married, but I love you too. Like, that's crazy. And it's not that, like, we're human and there's emotions and you can fall for people, but your responsibility it's just like this, right? It's like, this is as simple as it is. If you book me for a show, right? And I'm like, yeah, I can do your show. It's at 8:00 at this place, right? And then someone else books me for a show that I want to do. That show is better than your show. And it's somewhere else, but it's at the same time. I don't have to tell you that show is better than your show, but I do have to tell you, hey, I'm not going to be able to do your show.
Yeah.
If I just don't show up to your show, then that's lacking integrity.
Yeah.
So just think about every single choice you make in life as that simple. I may not want to be with you anymore, and that sucks. That's going to suck for you.
Just say it.
And that person I might think is actually better than you. I'm not going to say that, but what I do have the responsibility of doing is ending it with you. before I continue with someone else or
Yeah.
go along with somebody. That is the responsibility
Yeah.
that I have.
Yes.
And that is a true sign of my it's not a reflection, although some of us, when we are brokenhearted, devastated, rejected, also we think that's a reflection of us. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reflection of that person. You know what I'm saying? If I
Mm-hmm.
cheat on you, that's only a reflection of me.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm abusive to you, that's a reflection of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like I learned so much, and whatever you told me right now is exactly what my therapist is trying to teach me. And she asked me, "Tell me what makes you happy? Like, what's the thing that you are happy?" I'm like, "This show sold out, and this video has that much views. That means that I can sell a lot more shows, and I can feed the kids. And I'm just want to make sure that I get the money because now I'm a single mom. I walked out the marriage with nothing just to be out." So it's the leap of faith. I believe I can provide for my kids.
Yeah.
And I believe in myself, but it's so stressful. I really don't. She goes, "I want you to exercise every day, at least take a little walk." I said, "No, I don't have time. I have no time for that. Are you kidding me? 1 hour? Hell no." She goes, "That's not going to be okay. You have to put yourself first. You are not really understanding. The thing you are telling me is not what I want to hear. Yeah, the followers, the views. Yeah, I don't want to hear that. Like, what you love about you, what makes you happy. Like, how about the qualities about you? Tell me 5 that you think that makes you, and you are proud of it." I said, "Huh? Why would I talk about that? That's bragging. That's being not humble. My mom would slap me if I say anything about me like that."
Yeah.
She goes, "That's your problem. Yeah, that's why you keep coming back to your boundaries, is because you feel like your value is based on what you can provide for other people, not who you are."
Yeah.
She goes, "Your homework, you're going to write 5 qualities, and that's what you're going to tell me on Monday." And it took me a long time because in Chinese culture, you cannot talk about anything good about you. It's viewed as vanity, and you are going to be doomed because of you are vain. But I realized that it's just a lot of things that I needed to unlearn and a lot of things that I need to learn. So I said, first one is resilience, because I've been beat to hell and stepped to the floor like a cockroach. I was always able to jump back and go back directly to work to do what I want. I think resilience is something I really proud.
Yeah.
And then as the courage is the second one, is that I was told I was attractive in Chinese standard because the beauty standard is like they want skinny girls with bleached skin and a tiny V-shaped face. They don't have like a cheekbone and jawline is ugly. You have to so I was playing a tree stump for middle school music. Like I never was able to play anyone because I wasn't attractive in the beauty standard. I just didn't believe it. I feel like I have courage is because I was watching a movie and I see Halle Berry and she's a blonde girl. And I asked the Chinese people, I'm like, "Do you think she's beautiful?" Like, "It's Halle Berry. Are you kidding me? She's gorgeous." I'm like, but all skin tone is closer. I'm dark and she's dark. Like why I'm ugly, but she's hot. Like she's black. She's dark. She's black. You are Chinese. You are only allowed to be like a very bleached white. If you are darker, you're ugly. That's the rule. I'm like, fuck that shit. So I wanted to become an actress. I can never make it in China because I can't play. I'm not convincing as the girl, like a romantic lead. Even as like a psychic, I wouldn't be able to play. So I want to come to America to go to Hollywood to become an actress. And I knew that when I was a little girl. I said, "I don't think I'm ugly. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. You can tell me I can't wear pink. You can bully me all you want, but I just don't think I'm ugly. I just think there's something wrong. Something's not right because I see Halle Berry. I just don't think. I think you guys are confused." That's what I thought. I was so crazy.
I think, I totally understand what you're saying, but I mean, like, there's a bit of like context there that's missing, right? Like, Halle Berry is closer to your complexion, but Halle Berry is a very light-skinned Black woman. And so that is the same thing that culturally they're putting on you, you know? So in every demo, they're saying that lighter is better.
In every culture, actually. Even in India and in India, even in Africa. Like Godfrey was at the podcast last week, and he told me that he has like at least two brothers. They had a lighter skin, and he's darker than them. And they make fun of him at home. but in a loving way. But it's like, you're the dark one. And he's like, this African people, they are very dark. Their skins are like purple. It's gorgeous. And we just have to stop this narrative of the colorism. It just needs to stop.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, if we don't talk about it, it's not going to stop.
Yeah.
That's why I want to talk about, because I'm a victim of it. And my mom's like, wear a glove, wear an umbrella. I'm like, no. She's like, you're going to be ugly. We go to China. I'm like, if a Chinese man think I'm ugly, fuck them. Pack your dick. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm going to be dark. I love my skin. I love being dark. She goes, okay. I'm done. I go to China. They like, arrest her. She's crazy. She's jumping around trying to tell women they can just be their own color. They don't have to bleach anymore. No, they don't. Fuck everybody. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm so sick and tired. It's so toxic in China. It's just so toxic.
Yeah, it is. I remember I went to I was in Shanghai one summer, and everybody was walking around with umbrellas, and I didn't really understand why. But then I went outside, and it was so hot. I could not walk without an umbrella. That's how brutal the sun was. And I know that has nothing to do with colorism, but I will say
it was humid.
It was hot and humid. I've been to Dubai. I've been to some of the hottest regions. I mean, we live in LA, before all this really different climate. But I remember that summer, I couldn't believe it. I made a video. I should go and see in my Instagram archives, because I went outside with, I don't know, a tank top and some pants on or something like that. And I had to run back to my hotel. That's how unbearable the sun was.
You can probably put an egg on the ground and it's
yes, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
I think there's too much concrete jungle. There's not enough trees and stuff. But the city planning, something like that too.
Yeah. But I do think that's everybody's journey is
self-love.
It's self-love. And you know what? It's interesting that you said you told your therapist.
Yeah.
That you just want to certain things bring you joy, because that that lets you know I'm going to be able to feed my kids another day, and da 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 da. And I think that when we talk about intangible things, right, which is respect for ourselves, self-love, joy, things like that, sometimes we do leave out the livelihood. And that's a very real thing, is that we have to provide for ourselves.
Yes.
But I always say, whenever I hear people who are discontent or experiencing high levels of stress, or dissatisfaction, or feeling lost or whatever, and it's always rooted in they don't have what they want yet. They don't have a man, or they don't have the career, or they don't have the wealth, or whatever it is. They don't have the body that they want. I'm always wishing that they get that, because they'll get it and then they'll still be unhappy. Mm-hmm. And then it's in that moment that you find out, oh, it's a lot of internal work but you may never know, you may never get to the internal work if you really believe that it's the external things that are preventing, a certain level of joy that you can have. Don't get me wrong, I get stressed. I have to pay a mortgage. I have car payment, I need shows to sell out. But beyond that, I know that that's only part of it. That's a big part of it, but there's a other big part of it that you want to have both. You want to, that's what life is. You want to strike the balance of both those things, It's very important, I think. You have people there's some people, they are doing self-love all day and they don't go to work. They meditate. When they see somebody, if they're actors, they will see some of their friend getting a movie signed with CAA, they meditate. Other people's success is not my failure, and I'm fine, I'm content. Then when they talk to you, they are so aggressive, passive aggressive and defensive. I'm like, dude, just quit acting or go to acting. Just there's people like that, I understand it's another extreme. Yeah. And for me, I feel it makes so much sense. And I feel somebody trying to use some information about me, trying to get me into a situation to confront somebody else. But then I just listen, I like that person. If he says something about me like that,
It's on him because
Yeah.
I have nothing to prove to him and I still like him. Do you know why I have nothing to prove? Because I like me.
Yeah.
All my past, everything I ever did, I did it because I wanted to be successful and I did it with integrity. And I respect people. I gave them everything I could give and until I can't anymore. And I just really like myself. I'm not about to do any drama, try to confront anybody. I'm gonna go and do a fucking video and do a show. I thank
Yeah.
you for telling me that, but I like myself. I don't need
You seem like
approval.
Yeah, you
anymore.
seem like you like yourself.
Because before I wasn't. I'm like, oh, this is it. I mean, talk to them. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, what, are you angry at me? Like, what's going on? No, I'm just like, no, I didn't fuck your husband. Like, I didn't take your money. Like, I gave you opportunity. Like, I don't give a fuck. If you don't like me, it's on you.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be on my show, you won't. If you don't want me to be on yours, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah.
So now I just, when I have self-love, there's less stress because I don't want to confront anybody. Somebody come to stir up some shit. It doesn't affect me. I just, it's okay. Do it.
Yeah.
What? I don't even have to call people. I just don't care. It's your job. You just do whatever. And it's so helpful. And I want to cry a little bit when I was driving here because
today?
Yeah. I sold out cups last night, like 2 days ahead, 2 weeks ahead, I mean. And I immediately said to myself, like, most people, everybody sell out. You know, there's nothing special about it. But I don't understand, like, it's my first time headlining cups. And I've been doing comedy for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And it is something I should be like, savor the moment. Like, wow, that was sweet. But then I just like, no, you can do better. Maybe we should add another show and sell that one. Maybe it's not like a weekend, it's a Sunday. Then I was driving. I was just driving. I was like, that's great. Imagine all of the people there being happy and I make them laugh. And it was my dream when I was doing open mic, a long time ago. And it's today. I was going to all the mics and it wasn't enough. I opened my own club so I can do 10 hosts a day because 10 hosting a day because I didn't have enough. There's not enough mic for me, and I start late. I want to like really just get better. That's today. That was what I wanted. Was something would be like this happening to me. I'm like, that's great. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And I have a little tear. I'm like, I can't have my makeup messed up with Zainab. She's so gorgeous, and I can't have that happening. So I'm like, no, you're not crying. You're happy, and that's progress. It's one progress I see myself doing.
Yeah, certain places that I sold out. And when I do it fast, I cry too.
Yeah.
Because it is, I think that is acknowledgement and it's a state of gratitude.
Yes. Be grateful about our fans and our team and our work.
Especially if you remember a time where you had this same gift, but only you couldn't get 20 people to come out and see you.
Yeah.
Especially also when you are trying to provide a life not only for yourself, but for your children.
Yeah.
And all the adversity that you've overcome, then I think that is. I think that you pull over and you cry and then you thank whoever it is that you thank, the Dalai Lama or whoever, and I'm kidding.
Dalai Lama, I mean,
I don't know who.
If he licked my face, maybe I would have some self-respect. I would have boundaries.
But like Chinese people, what are you, Buddhist?
I think Buddha.
Okay,
like
okay.
Buddha.
So I say that respectfully.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You acknowledge it because I think you also, it's like you, so you talk about your mom a lot, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, because she made such great sacrifices, instead of like existing in gratitude with you, it was a constant like, sort of like reprimanding and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you better be worth it, right? It was like a constant threat.
Yeah,
right?
it is right.
And so that made you become a certain way, right? But if every time you did something great, your mom was like, thank you so much. Like, I'm just so grateful for you and I'm just so proud of you and you're so beautiful and thank you, thank you, thank you. That would have actually encouraged you to continue to be great, right?
Yeah.
And so I think when we are living and we're, doing things and then we get a positive response in the universe, we have to say thank you.
I think so.
We have to acknowledge it so that it can keep happening.
Yeah, I think it's the energy. If you don't appreciate things, the things don't come back to you anymore because God is like, you don't like it? Okay, I'll take it from you. Because there's a lot of people, they would be really grateful if they have that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like, that's not enough. Well, I guess I can't please you.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I mean, I don't know if any of this that I'm saying, this is what I believe. This is not
I
a
make
fact.
total
It's what I
sense, and
believe.
I
you
really
know?
feel that way.
But it also
believe me in that.
provides me with like peace
Mhm.
and resolve in my spirit, which is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think this is a hard business and a hard town
Very
to
hard.
to exist in if your spirit is unsettled.
Yes. Yeah.
And it makes you easily susceptible to users and
Yeah.
abusers.
Because
and
you don't have the self-love. Your happiness come from your service to others.
yeah, external factors.
Yeah, so I'm trying to stop it, and it just literally made me so much better,
Yeah.
happier. I just don't get offended. I'm just like,
Yeah.
you can say whatever you want
And
to
you're
say.
very outgoing. Like I can't remember the Women in Comedy Netflix show.
It was like in the Laugh Factory. Laugh Factory.
So no. So the first time I met you, I think, was at that show. It's like a don't tell show.
Don't tell show.
Yeah,
in
and I
Hollywood.
remember you've helped me out. I don't think you know this. So
Is it phone charger or something?
yes, you drive a Tesla, right?
Yes.
Yes. So me too. And you were like, do you have a charger? And I was like, no. You was like, my phone died, so I can't get in my car.
Mhm.
And I would normally like let my phone die too, like wouldn't think about it. And then I was like, oh shoot, that's right. My phone is my car key. I can't. So every time my phone gets, like my battery on my phone
Yeah.
is low and I'm out and about, I just think of you and I'm like, I can't let my phone die. I can't let
That's
my phone
so
die.
cute.
Because if I let my phone die, I'll be locked out of my car.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad for you. You were like, I just have to find a charger because I'm locked out of my car. And
So
I'm
my
like,
friend came late. She gave me her charger.
Okay.
She came to see me, so the
Yeah.
phone was charged.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
cute.
I mean, I remember you being very like outgoing and
Yeah. I think I'm outgoing. I'm always outgoing.
yeah.
I'm really happy, I was able to tell you things like this, and I'm really happy that as a female comedian, we can actually talk about our insecurities and how we overcome it. It's just, I feel like a lot of people are going through the same thing, and I don't want people to think I'm together.
Yeah.
I don't have the ego to be like, she has everything together. She has money, she has this and beautiful kids. Like I don't.
Yeah.
And the beauty is that we try to make things happen, and day by day, every day is a battle, but it's exciting.
yeah.
And I'm just learning to love myself more and more. And last time my mom cried because of I sold out the show, and I said, "Hey, mom, this sold out." She started crying. She just ran to her room and she locked the door. I'm like, "What happened, mom?" She came out with her face red. I'm like, "What's wrong?" She goes, "That's very good. I'm very proud." I said, "Of me?" She goes, "Yeah." She can't say it. She
Yeah.
just ran back again and going to cry.
Yeah.
And it was so cute. In the morning, she made me my favorite food when I was a child, like the steamed noodles. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Why do you make this? It's not New Year." She goes, "It's a celebration because something big, great happens, and
Yeah.
I think it's a milestone that." Nothing, just eat. And she walked away. It's very cute.
It is so cute. And you know what? I think that's why, you know who John Mayer is?
Yeah.
I think that's why I really love that's his song Daughters. I think it's
Oh,
called Daughters.
so beautiful. Daughters. Yeah.
Yeah, because,
Mothers become daughters.
Yeah, because I have to. Sometimes I have trying moments with my mom,
It's
and
hard.
I have to remember that like she's a woman outside of being my mother, and she's a product of her mother, and her mother is a product of her mother, and not that will make me passive in some of the dysfunction, but it makes me look at it in a different way, empathize with it, and work to like change it.
Yeah,
So-
I think it's so beautiful because my mom and I, we wasn't talking for 3 years. It's been very difficult. When I got older, I become a mother. I realized that I start trying to see my mom as a child because my mom lost her father when she was 7 years old. Her father was a hero. My grandpa, he runs a mining, he managed a mining company. There's accident happened and somebody was trapped in there. He should send a security person, but that person couldn't find them. So my grandpa was very good at it. So he went down there, he saved everybody, and then it was too late. So he was trapped in there, he died. He did die a hero, but it's good, but she never had a father.
But she
And they were-
still lost her father.
Yeah, they are very poor, and there's not enough food. So my uncles got the food, and she was always starving, and that's why she's shorter and skinny. And she couldn't have the food. And when she was the best student in the class, my uncles got to school because they were the boys. She couldn't go to school after middle school. They let her quit. She went to the good high school. She wanted to be a nurse and a doctor, but she can't do it. Then she got married when she's 18 years old, and she had a daughter. She can just literally just get rid of me, but she gave up her job and her house to keep me. And my father is an alcoholic. He never really worked. He's drunk, but he's very charming and handsome. Now he's good. Now my father started I think I really changed him. He just. I'm getting more well known in China, and people ask me about him about me. He's like, I don't want to be the drunk dad to you. I can't do it to you.
So you roasting him is his sobriety.
Yeah. So he just like he didn't want to bring shame to me when people ask like, is Jiaoying your daughter? He's like, I should be like, yes, she is. When I'm not drunk, I just actually can enjoy you being my daughter. It was beautiful. And then I start thinking about my mom is saying something stupid and mean. I'm like, if I was her, I'm 18, I'm having an abortion. There's no way I'm letting this fucking girl ruin my fucking life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that drunk. I'm gonna find a nice guy to marry. I'm not gonna let this fucking person ruin my fucking life. Fuck that shit. But she did let everything ruin her life. She never told me I ruined her life.
Yeah.
And she did the best she can. And now she was able to. She moved here to America to help me with my children full time because I'm divorced. I can't have a career without her.
Yeah.
I tour, I do things, and she's with them full time, and she take care of them, and she loves them. She's not angry at them because she was able to not worry about the work and try to feed people. She can just be the grandmother with love.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the kids rather than being angry
that's
at them.
also why, like everything you just said, that's also why when you sell out Cobb's, your mom has to excuse herself and go crying.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I thought she's never going to be proud of me. But she has been proud of me the whole time.
Yeah.
She just can't say it.
And I think, I don't know, I may be putting too much on it, but like, in a way, she's proud of herself because everything that you're doing is because of a very tough decision she made.
Yeah, I think so. And she told me, she's like, you know what? I don't feel like a complete loser either because everything I insisted, people laughing at me.
Yeah.
And they were wrong about me because it was right to keep you.
Yeah.
It was... It's just I can't believe me and my mom we can be so close. She's so close to me now. I know her so well now, and I just really think that's a gift because having this kind of thing with your mother can really empower you to understand that's where you're from, and it's beautiful. I'm taking so much time. I think we are up to the time, but I have to roast your name.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not leaving without you roasting my name in Chinese.
Oh my God, Zainab. Zainab's name is literally Zainab. Like a 日那不 日 means fuck.
Hey.
那 means that. 不 means hell no. So it's like a fuck that, hell no. Like it's like her attitude. Like if somebody tell you something, you're like fuck that, hell no.
F that, hell no. Yeah.
And I have one of my friends in Kentucky. She's African American, and she told me basically whenever somebody says something like mean to me, she's like, no, don't you talk to me like that. She teaching me how to say that. Because I'm like, that's rude. No, it's not rude. You just tell them they can't talk to you like this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at your tits. I'm like, oh, I just feel uncomfortable and angry.
Yeah.
She's like, do not talk to me like this. And it worked. I said that. People were like, what?
Yeah. Boundaries.
Yeah. So I love that. Whenever somebody says something stupid about me, I'm just like, I don't speak English, but I can hear it. And don't talk to me like this, And I love her. Her name is Ariel.
Ariel.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And I have my Black Mermaid joke is back to her, talking to her because her Facebook name was Black Mermaid Do Exist.
Oh, okay.
Long time ago. So when people really felt like, oh, you can't be Black Mermaid, I had a big joke about you. So I think about her and how she empowers me so much.
Yeah.
And that sentence is all the girls need. Do not talk to me like this.
Yes. Yeah. Which is the equivalent of no, and no can be the most powerful thing you ever say.
Yes, totally. I learned no, like a double no today. No. Yeah, hell no. Like a fuck that, hell no.
F that.
Yeah, F that, hell no.
I'm only saying F because the sun is up.
Yes, F that, hell no. That's perfect, right? That's
yes,
you.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's totally me.
You're like, I like you, I respect you, but F that, hell no. That's not the deal I deserve.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm learning so much, and I'm so happy to have you. Where can we find you?
You can follow me on all social media platforms, Zainab Johnson, Zainab Johnson. TikTok is the Zainab Johnson, TAHZAINAB Johnson. And then my website is Zainab Johnson. So.
Yes. Any shows you want to plug?
Yeah.
This one's going to come out this Monday.
It'll come out Monday. Just go to my website. I have so many shows. Like,
Yes.
I was gonna say August, but we're in April. April 30th, I'm in. I don't even know, but I'm somewhere.
Yeah, she's all over.
I'm all
the place.
over. Like, I'm
And,
in
you can't
Seattle.
miss
No,
her.
on 420, I'm in Seattle. I'm in a lot of places.
Yeah,
So
you can't miss her. She's coming to a
Yeah.
city near you.
So
Go
just-
to
yeah.
ZainabJohnson.com.
yeah, you'll find all of the links for the tickets.
Thank you guys so much. I feel like I'm drinking soul soup. Right? Feel so empowered and happy.
Yeah, good.
Thank you
so much for
thank
having
you for coming.
me.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
So-